Hey gang, rolling here. As you can see, in this game, we have a mixed tier 7 game. I'm divisioned with Ramagar, and Ram and I are in top tier ships. Ram in the Sinop, which is, to my mind at least, devastatingly powerful tier 7 battleship, especially when top tier. And I'm in the Gadjah Mada, which is, at least in my opinion, not as effective since the CV rework and the continued proliferation of 12-kilometer radar that you can encounter now in higher tiers. But when the fates align and you get matchmaking like this, Gadjah Mada is still a pretty devastating thing to encounter. You can see the gun angles there. If you look at the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see that you can aim almost straight ahead with all your guns. It's got fantastic gun angles. I don't expect the Ranger's going to try and drop me with torps. He was running straight over the top of me, so I went ahead and added my, 1200 damage to the aircraft. I just have to outrun the shells from Nagato here. Now normally on this map, this tier, especially these days with so many newer players, not sure what happened there, you'll get battleships that'll head south around that island at Charlie 4 and then try to cross to Alpha. So I'm just positioning to catch anybody that comes through that gap. I'm positioning to be able to get guns on an enemy DD if it pushes in here. And I've got smoke available, and with the Pan-Asian DD line, the smokes, they don't last very long, but they reload really quickly, so you can stay in cover pretty well. Just avoid some battleship AP here. You reset the cap. It's alright, minimal damage. And I'll just go ahead and run up here behind this island, make sure I avoid potential torpedo strikes from enemy DDs. And one thing you'll notice about these guns is that that rear turret, it doesn't have to swing all the way around. It's a 360-degree turret. Now why am I moving up? Well, because as expected, all those battleships are doing kind of what I figured they were going to do, and I want to position myself to get torps on them. I smoked up here because the Ranger did finally bring rocket planes. I know I've got a KGV heading south along that line. Got a Nagato and a Bayern. They're going to probably become visible there at Echo 4. Planes are past. Go ahead and try and get some torpedoes out on the KGV here. Now he's going to turn out, and I can see that it's happening. So I'm just going to track him and see what he does. My guess is that he might try to run north of the island, but he may just turn around. Either way, I don't want to put torpedoes out until I'm sure of which direction he's going. He's turning around, so I'm just going to guesstimate where he's going to be when the torpedoes arrive and try to put them there. And I don't want to waste any time. I'm going to head back this direction because this is the direction most of the enemy ships are. Now if I can beat up that KGV, that's great. But if not, I still want to be able to position myself to take advantage of the fact that we've got all those red ships kind of bottled up together there. And they're going to have to make a push eventually. Yeah, KGV is About to have a very bad moment. Head back to port. Now, if you haven't played the Pan-Asian DD line, one of the beautiful things about the torpedoes is that they have a very low detection radius. So, generally speaking, by the time you see that they are coming, it is too late to do anything about it. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to hit enemy DDs with these torpedoes. They are they are no help at all against enemy destroyers. But against battleships, devastatingly effective. Now, Emerald is pushing in, which to me is just crazy. So I am going to position myself to take advantage of that and the fact that he seems to be heading for our Gepard. And yeah, he'll come around the island there and Gepard will spot him. You can see I've got AP loaded.
Engine boost activated.
Because the Emerald is made of paper. And I'm going to get zeroed in on that Citadel here. There we go. And Emerald is in big trouble.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
4 Citadels with Gadjah Mada guns. And I've got to watch Gepard here. I'm just angling to avoid potential torpedo strike in case he decided to throw torpedoes into my smoke. Oh boy, I completely whiffed that. And, you know, look at that. I was still able to get all the guns, even though I was pointed almost straight at him. Just amazing gun angles. So while your torpedoes will not be able to hit enemy DDs, your guns are very effective against DDs. So if you can avoid the enemy torpedo strike, that will almost certainly come in a knife fight between destroyers, your guns are going to be very effective against the enemy DD, especially when you're top tier. I like the Pan-Asian DD line. I had somebody 6-8 weeks ago say something along the lines of, why are you wasting your time with Yu Yang, which is one of the high-tier Pan-Asian ships. But I think they're very fun. The trick at the higher tiers, at least in my opinion, is to stay alive long enough to matter. Because, in the mid and late game, once things have spread out a little bit, these very hard to detect torpedoes become just that much more effective. I detected momentarily there, but I was behind some island cover, so I didn't have to worry too much. I'm going to swing around the other side of this island and just throw torps out here and try to catch somebody. Meanwhile, Ram's been, initially, Ram had basically every red ship in the game firing at him because of his positioning. But he just stayed angled and tanked it. You can see he's still got plenty of hit points. Now I'm going to get spotted here, but that's okay, because their guns don't rotate very quickly.
Smoke generator started.
Some secondary fire. Get the smoke going, throw some torps out, and now let the guns get to work. May not hit anything, but even if I don't hit anything, you can see the effect that my being spotted here has had. Everybody's moving away, moving away from the caps.
Smoke screen set.
And Byron is just, he's focused on that Fuso, I'm sure, that's at Echo 2. And he's going to pay for that. He did not react to my being here. And I did land another torpedo back there, Nagato. So we're not quite 10 minutes into the game, and the good guys have got a pretty commanding lead. We've got, we'll have 3 caps here in just a second. And this is really all over but the shouting. So what do I like about the Gadjah Mada? I love the gun angles. I like the reload for the tier. It handles very well, super maneuverable. Makes it easier to avoid enemy torpedo strikes. Decent fire starter, as you can see. There's the high caliber.
Engine
I'll
boost
take it.
activated.
That's kill number 3.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
And Nagato's engines are out. And down he goes. So, very fun ship to play. A little bit tougher if a CV decides to focus you, or if you're in a match where your torpedo range isn't sufficient to stay away from the radar. But still, if you haven't tried them but you like DDs, I really recommend it. This is just a mop-up now. So I will say, well, you can see Ram's in position to be able to put some hurt on that Ranger. Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.